So if you're focused on something, then you can take things into your own control. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not easy. Expect pain, expect anxiety, expect everything to go wrong, and just be cool. Breathe easy, and then just see it out. It's never going to happen the way you want it to happen, ever. And if it does, do not trust it. It's the devil. I should have to be nice to get somebody to give me something. Right. If my product is good, no matter how I act, you will pay for it.
Oh yeah, we have a church. We ain't going nowhere. What up, peoples? Uh, Getting a few things together. I got a complete setup tonight. Really, I just forgot one thing that I gotta go grab. So while I do that, what I'm gonna do is, because I care so much about the peoples, I'm gonna play this this little track. Let's see, where is it at? It's right here. So I'm gonna add this on real quick. I'm gonna go grab my little merch, and then I'll be right back so we can start the shizzo.
Riddle 690. Yeah.
Yeah, big salute. Shout out to my nephew Rico 63. Oh, yeah. Big shouts out to you, nephew. Uh that beat is so fire, man. Uh so like I was saying, I got a full lineup tonight, man, of topics. Uh I'm not sure if any of the squad is gonna be here. You know how that goes. It's a week to week basis. But it is what it is. Uh so I'm gonna just jump right into these news topics I got lined up for us. And I got to start off with one that I like a lot, a lot, a lot. And that is Tom Brady. Tom Brady has officially retired. Yes. Yes. Finally. Uh you know what? I think I understand how people who live through the Jordan era in other cities and states besides Chicago felt, right? Because Mike was just winning everything every year. And so now we had to live through the Tom Brady era. Welcome to the show, Keyhole, everybody.
What's good?
Keyhole showed up.
What's happening,
Yeah.
fam? All right.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, we had to live through the Tom Brady era, and it's finally over with. Finally, somebody else gonna get a chance to win something besides Tom Brady. But they had came out earlier this week. I think even at the end of last week and said that they were, acknowledging the fact that he was going to retire, but it didn't actually come from him. And so this came from him, and it was on his Instagram as well, which is why it says officially announces his retirement. So hey, listen, the man got 7 of them things. Uh, I wasn't a fan. I felt like they cheated a lot. So you know what I'm saying? I can't give you credit when it's a whole lot of cheating going on, but at the end of the day, it ain't like the dude couldn't play. You know what I'm saying? He could play, but it is what it is. But congratulations to him. We the same age too, so I'm glad he get to step down. And now I want to see how long his marriage is gonna last. This is gonna be a telltale right here, right? Because he's gonna be around the house more often, and we're gonna see how long it's gonna last. But fast shouts out to Tom Brady, man. Keo, was you a football fan at all?
I got appreciation for Brady and his thing. I feel like
Yeah,
it seemed kind of rigged at times, but you got to respect the game.
no
I
doubt.
just heard it on the news or whatever it was I was walking by about the retirement too. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it seemed like it wasn't right. It seemed like he was gonna play till he was in the grave, didn't it?
They definitely seemed that way. I definitely felt like he was going to try to reach 10 of them things, but it is what it is. And they've been saying in the news for a minute that his wife been wanting him to retire. So, it is
Hmm.
what it is. But on to some more somber news. I just heard about this. I figured I'd bring it up. 2 officers were shot and killed in Bridgewater College in Virginia. This is from CNN. Says 2 campus officers were shot and killed Tuesday during an active shooter situation at Bridgewater College in Virginia, according to college spokesperson Logan Bogert. Uh, so I didn't look more into it. I don't know if they got the guy. I don't know if the active shooter is still going on. But that came across my timeline, and I was like, you know what? Let me bring this up because it's February the 1st. It's cold as a polar bear's booty outside. I don't have any clue why anybody would be outside trying to shoot something right now. It's cold everywhere. But that term active shooter, man, that's becoming like a mainstay in America, isn't it?
I thought that it kind of faded away for a minute, didn't it? We ain't had one of these in a second, right?
You know what? Now that you think about it, it's definitely feel like it's been at least some months, a lot of months. You know what I'm saying? Since
Hmm.
I actually heard it, but I mean, as it should have been. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? It's mad cold outside, bro. But I ain't no big fan of the police, but at the same time, You know what I'm saying? We don't know what was going on in that situation. They could have been there trying to save people or whatever. So I don't got nothing negative to say about it. But condolences to the families or whatever.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
And then the last story I got for you all is 2019 Miss USA and extra host Chelsea Chris dies at 30 from suspected suicide. Family expresses devastation and great sorrow. And when I read up now this I'm gonna be honest, right? Like full transparency. The way I found out about this is from this page that I follow on Facebook. And I'm not gonna say the name of the page because I don't want to put the dude on blast. But he made a post that I felt like was real in real bad distaste. Um, because he took this time or this tragedy, as it were, uh, to ring the how do you call it, anti-feminism bell, um, and make his point, which his whole platform is about, which is women and feminism and the matriarchy and hitting the wall and all this other stuff, which I support all of that. But he used that as a way to say, "Oh yeah, that's what happened with this woman, and she hit the wall and she couldn't deal with it, so she committed suicide." And I don't think that was cool at all. We don't know the circumstances of this, and whenever I hear suicide, especially for a woman, whenever I hear jump from a building, especially for anybody black, I don't believe it.
And
So,
suspected suicide is enough within itself.
right, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just keep it a buck. I ain't buying it. Uh, she looked way older than 30 right there to me. But yeah, I definitely don't believe it at this point. They're gonna have to like show me. The matter of fact, video probably ain't even gonna convince me. So I'm just saying, like, I still ain't banded about Donny Hathaway all them years ago, man. I just don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't think black people. I know black people commit suicide. I just lost my brother, but just jumping out of a building, I just don't see it. You know what I'm saying? But who knows, man? Anyway, condolences to to her family. Um,
No doubt, no doubt.
and just wanted to get them couple of little news stories out. Kehoe, you got any stories you want to share?
Not currently. I'm still gathering myself over here. So
No
let's
doubt.
roll with the punches, man.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So, man, this was a crazy week as far as getting topics together, because I had so much stuff. It was really hard to dissect and pick from it to determine what I was going to actually use. Um, it was so many different things, and I had a whole folder that I created, and then I ended up taking like one thing out of that folder, and everything else is a whole bunch of other stuff. So basically, the other five things I had in that folder, I'm not even gonna make it to the show tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how much stuff it really was that I had to sift through. And so I narrowed it down, and I picked a couple of topics that I thought was pretty good. We made it through the A block. We got our little news stories out the way, and now I want to jump into the topics. And the first topic is mocking men's health, mocking men's mental health, mocking men's mental health. Uh, and the thing that really incited me to bring this topic up was a post I read from, I want to say, is it? Yeah, her name is Daphne, Daphne Sutton. I follow her on Facebook. She has a lot of good posts, a lot of good information that she brings to the table and shares with everybody. And so she had this meme that she put up. I'm gonna share it with you all. Uh, and on this meme, it talks about the breakdowns that Tyrese had, Kanye had, Will Smith had. The first one says, when Tyrese had a mental breakdown online in regards to not seeing his daughter in 2 years. People laughed at him and he became a meme. When Kanye West had a mental breakdown on TV, people called him crazy and he too became a meme. The world watched Will Smith listen to his wife tell him that she had an affair. People laughed at Will and he too became a meme. Yet, folks wonder why men don't open up about their mental health.
Mm.
Uh, and that's true, man. I mean, I don't remember the Kanye West situation, but I remember Tyree's situation, and you, of course, I remember Will Smith's situation. I mean, you want to talk about cringy? Uh, but Daphne Ford Sutton is her name. And this is what she wrote on her post with this meme. It says, whenever a man has a mental breakdown, it's laughed at. They become a meme or the joke of the day. They're called crazy and unstable. They're not allowed to vent and cry. They're mocked and blamed for their breakdowns. Men go through depression and anxiety too. They deserve the same resources that women get. It is time to acknowledge the truth that people don't care about mental health in men, and I will continue to advocate for men. It's not weak behavior to vent or express yourself. Um, Man, listen, like I said, Daphne be having a lot of good stuff on her page. So if y'all want to go follow her on Facebook, I recommend it. She does a lot of accountability posts. It's a two-way street for her. You know what I'm saying? So nothing is one-sided with her. But yeah, that was deep, man. And I mean, it really hit home for me because I've been dealing with this, mental health stuff for a while. And it was the same for me though. When I tried to talk about it on Facebook, post videos, you know what I'm saying? Like people was, at least for me, I could say I wasn't becoming no memes, right? I wasn't important enough or big enough
Mm-mm.
for somebody to make a meme out of me, but I wasn't getting
Mm.
any support really. And the crazy thing about it was the few times when I actually was getting support, it wasn't from people I actually knew. It was from strangers.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Complete strangers. Like, man, bro, I feel you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, dog, I dig that. It is what it is.
Yeah, it
So let me.
usually is.
Oh, go ahead.
I said usually is from strangers.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. I
But
mean, I
touching
was
on that
told
though,
that, but I mean,
yeah,
I didn't want to
touching on
believe
that
it, but I
though,
believe it now.
is that was that considered mental health or was that uh me and showing emotions or being in the emotional place? I think the mental health or the trauma comes from the response you get from the public after you show your emotions or wear your emotions out like that. I remember like what was the guy name who played with LeBron and had the LeBron mama? I think we talked about him
Oh
before.
yeah, Delonte West.
Yes, Delonte West, man. He has suffered from all kind of mental health issues throughout his lifetime, and then the court was the only place that he got away from that. And when he went through his thing, and he said the story wasn't even true, but when he went through his moment in the way the media and they just attacked and beat him down, that's what caused him to have withdrawals or go back into that mental health issues, those things that were re-sparked again within him. Because like with the Will Smith and thing, it's the response that the people give to you that cause the problems. Because it's not a mental health thing to me to respond any way that any of these guys responded to the situations. I mean, Kanye, he kept trying to get a message out. He kept trying to say something, and it was like maybe he could have did it different, but it was almost like nobody really wanted to listen to him. Nobody really
You
wanted to
know.
hear what he was saying because I've seen some solid interviews with him where everything he was saying made sense, but a
Mhm.
lot of it was things people didn't want to hear or wasn't ready for. And then when the world shuns you like that, I think that has an effect on people.
And you know what? I believe I agree with you too, because uh the one thing I remember about the Tyree situation, that was about his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he was crying on video. But I don't think that was the first time. If that was the first time, then I mean it was another time too, where he was crying on video. But the reason why I say I agree with you is because a clip I recently shared on all of the platforms of Jason Wilson speaking, and how he said how sometimes brothers give each other dap and they be like, all right, stay strong. And subliminally, that's telling you if you find yourself being weak, then you're not being a man. And I think that's where the problem comes in, at is in those moments, you being considered weak, right? Mentally, you know this is going to be the perception of it. Even with the Will Smith situation, I kind of like, look, if I put it like this: if you're on TV in any way, form, or fashion, I consider you an actor. So that could have been a really good acting job by Will Smith, and I don't take that lightly. But if I just take how it went at face value, bro, he looked real broken, really,
Yeah,
really, really
yeah,
bad. It
yeah.
wasn't like people had to Photoshop those memes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
they took that meme, them memes was direct from video. You know what I'm saying? They ain't have to airbrush them. They ain't have to add no tears.
Yeah.
They ain't have to put the Jordan crying meme over him or nothing like that. That face was
Mhm.
the face that he had while he was on the show.
But
And
after
I
such
believe,
betrayal, though, how do you respond to such betrayal, though?
and that's what I'm saying. I don't. I understand he's an actor, and I understand, and I definitely will acknowledge my point of view of people on TV, man. All of them, even the sports guys, they all actors to me. But
Yeah.
if I look at Will Smith and I just take him at his word, yeah, I feel like in that moment before the public outrage, he was in a mental health crisis. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said I agree with you, but I think also that it plays into the individual's mind, because before you even get the reaction, you already know it. You know it's coming. First of all, for them, because they celebrities, right? But even for me, I knew I wasn't getting any reaction, but I knew the perception that was being put out there, because I would talk to people and they would try to, man, bro, why you putting that on there? And man, bro, it looked like this, and man, bro, it looked like that. And then I deleted that page too. I wish I hadn't. If I could have all the messages from people inboxing me, guys basically saying, man, bro, I be agreeing with you what you be saying, but it just be coming off like you bitter, or like you toxic, or like you hate women, and
Mhm.
this or that. You know what I'm saying? So now it's be like, well, if that's the case, then why don't you present another side of it? Come on there, support my argument, but then say it in a way where it don't sound like that. I mean, because at the end of the day, like you said, how else do you respond to certain things? It's
Yeah.
not, you know what I'm saying? Is it your woman who you married to? If you like Will Smith or like me, you
Mhm.
thinking like, this is my woman, this the only one, blah 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And then you hearing about this situation with this other guy, and he younger, and this and that. Man, come on! I would have been worse off than he was. There's no way I would have been able to sit at the table and listen to that.
It's almost, it comes off like it's unnatural for a man to show emotions, which is something that should be natural.
Right.
And that's a sad thing for the society when a man can't display his emotions
And this
and
was
not be considered weak.
and this is what's like is ironic, but at the same time it's like toxic, bro, because the same people who do the judging of a man for being emotional are the same people that question why men don't aren't men, why they aren't like they used to be, and why y'all ain't strong, and why y'all ain't leaders, and why y'all ain't this. And it's like, because all of those things that you want us to be, it takes something to be that. It takes a certain measure of strength, you know what I'm saying, of mental health, mental fortitude. It takes a certain amount of support in the world, you know, from the community, from society at large, from the families and household where you raised, all of that. It takes all of those different things, you know what I'm saying, to make the men that you say you want. But we just keep asking people to become something regardless to what they've been through. And it's proven to be detrimental. It's, I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna take for people to realize that just ain't it. That's not how that's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? You either gonna, you know, start raising it, people and men and women the right way from the gate, or we just gonna continue down this slippery slope. We can't keep expecting for people to make these miraculous changes after they have been damaged. It take too long. You talking people that's in their late 30s and 40s before they having these grand awakenings, and by that time they got kids that's already lost in the sauce. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I mean, this now what I can see in 2022 is that there are, let me not exaggerate, there are more women and men speaking on men's behalf on social media platforms than ever before. So I don't know how long it's going to take for us to see a change, but I actually now am starting to believe that we will see one. Like, I think the bad is gonna get worse, but the good is gonna get better. And the good and the better might not outweigh the bad and the worst, but it'll be more accepted at least. Because right now it's still a lot of people that just, you know, want to be dismissive of it and say it's like it's the old ways. But the more we talk about mental health, then the more awareness there is. You see what I'm saying? That people aren't just how they behave. It's more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah,
We
but
talk about a lot of
go ahead.
touchy topics here. Talk about a lot of touchy topics here, and that's what needs to happen.
Hey, I don't know how else you're gonna get it done. You can't do the kumbaya all day. You know what I'm saying? At some point, you have to deal with the things that's, you know what I'm saying, uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable to some degree. I mean, for me right now, you know, we ain't getting 1,000 viewers per videos. You know what I'm saying? We don't even think we hit 100 yet on any one video. But at some point, when it gets bigger than it is, guess what? It's gonna be a lot of eyes and a lot of ears, and they're gonna be able to slice and cut up and make memes, and you know, and we open about who we are and our past and everything, and it's gonna be out there for people to mock and mimic and all of that. And I know that, you know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to prepare myself mentally for that. And when I see people who are taking the time, like Daphne Sutton is doing, to address these type of topics on her platform, she's getting more views than us, and all, it gives me more courage. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like at the end of the day, oh, it's somebody on your side of the fence that's gonna understand where I'm coming from.
Oh yeah.
See what I'm saying? Instead of just feeling like I'm gonna just be alone. Because that's how I felt 2017, 2018 on Facebook. I felt absolutely alone. I didn't know nothing about the manosphere podcast. Only podcast I ever was watching was Corey Holcomb 5150. That's the only podcast I ever watched. You know what I'm saying? But
I
once the
still don't know
pandemic,
this manosphere you be talking about. I gotta see what that is. Sounds like a
well,
place where a lot of hurt men go to eat ice cream and talk about women. I don't know what it is though. I'm gonna definitely look into it though.
it's just the manosphere. And let me not I don't mean to undersell it, right? But basically, it's just a title for a bunch of collective programming. It's like how, remember when they had the black exploitation films? Okay, it's like that. It's a genre basically. The manosphere is basically a genre.
But it
It
sounds like a gathering of
describes.
hard legs.
I mean, technically it is that, but the bigger platforms have uh women involved. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you might start off, you have like a coach Greg Adams. This guy is on the show by himself. You got Abba and Preach, they're on the show by themselves. But then you end up with a Kevin Samuels who's bringing in females all the time to talk to. Uh, even though right now they having a bit of an issue, but Fresh and Fit for a minute, they bringing in people, women to talk to, so that it's not just what you said, a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
men having ice cream complaining
Man,
about women. You
it's
know what I'm
only so
saying?
far that that's gonna go, man. It's only so far that that's gonna go.
Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, I think people are starting to realize that, which is why most people are starting to bring folks together to have the conversation. Most
Mm-hmm.
of the newer podcasts is not just some guy sitting around complaining. And that's the thing about it is a few years ago when I was on Facebook doing my thing, one of my homies was telling me, man, bro, you need to go to YouTube. That's the space you need to be in. Facebook ain't it. Facebook is all your family and friends, the people that ain't gonna support you, the people that think they know you and they just judging you. You need to go to YouTube where don't nobody know you, and you can have the conversations and build the platform. But what I never wanted to do was I didn't want to do it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
I knew if I did it alone, it was gonna be exactly what you just described. A dude sitting around eating ice cream complaining about women. Because
Mm-hmm.
I actually did a couple of videos by myself a couple of years ago on another page. I still got that page and them videos. And when I watch it back, that's what it looked like. It looked like a
Yeah,
hurt dude, you know what I'm saying, that's
yeah,
just
yeah.
complaining. You know what I'm saying? Not to
Mm-hmm.
mention the fact that a couple of times I had my moments where I was crying. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I always wanted to do it how we doing it, where it's multiple people, men and women. You know what I'm saying? So that we can actually have a conversation. I have this one chick that I've been trying to get on the show. Um, she told me she watched last week and she checked out a couple of more videos as well. And her and her husband, and she said they love how we doing it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? How we bouncing our ideas off of each other. You know what I'm saying? The fact that we way more civil and we actually have the conversations, and that she plans on joining us on the show one of these days. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I always wanted it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So that it don't just sound like, oh, there's some dude, you know what I'm saying, that just got a problem with women. You know what I'm saying? I will admit what my problems with whatever demographic is. And at this point, I really don't care about the other ones. Like I got issues with the white supervisor at my job, but guess what? I don't have to work there. You know what I'm saying? I can just go get
Mm-hmm.
another job. It is what it is. Whereas with the community, I'm more connected to it. I have uh more skin in the game when it comes to seeing things work out better for us. And as much as I feel like the spark that will change everything, change the community for the better, is going to come from the women. What's going to happen, the spark for the men is going to be addressing mental health, because that's where we weak at. We obviously ain't weak physically. We still out here
So
fighting and killing.
I
You
see a
know what
lot
I'm
of
saying?
women who do the same bastion. I often say it's a human thing or just an individual thing, because just as much as I see men bashing women, I see women bashing men. I mean, it's a two-way street.
Yeah. And
You
the
know.
reason why that is, the reason why the men are so aggressive now is because they actually have a platform to do it on. Because regular media wasn't caring about black men, what black men thought. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have no Oprahs. Even Montel, his show was all about women. You know what I'm saying? And what women wanted. And it wasn't no good men around and all of that. So now they have these platforms to do what they sell. Man, I'm every day I'm subscribing to new ones. I'm networking with black podcasters. We do, subscribe for subscribe. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I just started checking out this one podcaster. I'm gonna actually play one of their clips tonight called We Need to Talk. And they set up is pretty dope. They have people come out and it's like a chair set up. They have them sit in the chair. For some reason, the women don't never have shoes on. Not that I'm complaining. I'm a foot man, but they sit in the chair and they talk about different topics. You know what I'm saying? And they found a way to market it where they subscriber base is pretty decent and their viewers is pretty decent. Where they in the advertisement game with it and all of that. They using Kevin Samuel's name, you know what I'm saying, to help them out, which I'm not hating. It is what it is. Do what you got to do. But the setup is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? And so I would put them in the manosphere, though. I would. You know what I'm saying? I would put them in there because they having the conversations that us men want to have. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what the manosphere comes down to. Now there's a different sector called MGTOW, MGTOW, which stands for men going their own way. That's a whole nother subsection. You know what I'm saying? Those is mostly white guys, and they like, man, forget women. You know what I'm saying? The manosphere ain't saying forget women. They just trying to tell men, look, you need to be the best version of yourself. You need to focus on you. Don't worry about trying to be the Prince Charming for no woman. You just be the best version of you, and you can have whatever woman you want, as many women as you want, and the women will get in line. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do agree with being the best version of yourself for yourself. You know what I'm saying? I can't say nothing bad about that at all. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's basically what it comes down to. Now, it's a few people, not all of them, but it's a few people, including the Kevin Samuels types, that deal with mental health. And so, like I said, the women now are getting on board. You got the Pink Book Lessons and the Jessica Eggs and the Daphne Suttons and all these different people, and they getting on board. And like I said, that post that we just read, that came from a sister. You know what I'm saying? That's a sister saying, look, man, it's time out for y'all trying to think like men just supposed to be these hard rocks. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking about this in the car the other day. I was driving to work. It's like all of these things that the society and our women expect from men. They don't realize that it's something that men need in order to provide that. It's a certain level of emotion that comes with protecting, providing, loving, being exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like it takes emotion for you to be monogamous. You know what I'm saying? So you can't want these hardcore men and then at the same time want them to be able to flip a switch and become emotional when it suits you. You know what I'm saying? You gotta allow men the room to be emotional when it's best suited for them as well. You know what I'm saying? And then you have to deal with it accordingly. Yeah, it's gonna be some times when, you know what I'm saying, he's probably gonna cry. It's gonna be some times when, he ain't gonna be able to make a decision. He's gonna be weak. The world is tough. Life is tough. You know what I'm saying? Being average is tough. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, bro. Like, man, I'm trying to. Look, bro. I'm so ready to switch jobs. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I don't want to spend the rest of my life like this, though. After I've been somewhere for 3 months, I got to go get another job. You know what I'm saying? Because I just get tired of people. That's why I'm trying to figure out what am I really gonna do when this next bag drop. This time, no mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't keep. It's mentally stressing. It's depressing to get up and go to work and be feeling good and get there, and then here comes some white person trying to ruin your day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Intentionally. You know what I'm saying? Like it really, really, really sucks. So like the mental health aspect of things is really deep. But I'm glad that more people are starting to have this conversation, and they're gonna see the more we address this for men, the better off the community will be. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're giving men the space to be able to accept the fact that they don't have to be strong 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. You know what I'm
Yeah, but you
saying?
still got guys who don't see from that perspective. Who feel like, I think it was MH that said that what woman wants a overly emotional man or some type of thing. Not that I'm saying a woman would or won't, but I'm just saying, just from his perspective, the people who see it like that gonna always remain where they at.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, I
they feel like
mean,
they feel like they have to. The people who think like that feel like that emotions are for the weak.
and this thing about it, it's not that he wrong. It's just that we trying to change the women from thinking that way. Because I
I
would
agree.
agree with him. You know what I'm saying? If you look at, and then what I'm finding out is this is historic. This ain't even like nothing that just been happening since we've been alive. Historically, when given the choice, women choose horrible men to make kids with, bro. Like they they pick the Mavericks, they pick the rebels, they pick the bad boys. Like that's the thing that they are attracted to. Okay,
Yeah.
full transparency. This probably goes. Ain't no probably for men too. I don't know if it's the majority of men or not, but for men too, we do it too. We pick the woman based on her physique and how good she look. I mean, feet and everything else. So you know what I'm saying. And guess what? There's a level of egoism and vanity that comes along with that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I had a coworker tell me the other day. She said, "Man, it seems like I ain't gonna. I'm gonna change her name to protect the innocent, right? But let's just say her name is Joni. She said, "Man, it seems like it's a Joni fan club up here now." I'm like, "Well, that's because it is." I'm like, "I hope you don't expect me to feel bad because a lot of people up here like you." Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But in that moment, I'm making a joke about it, but I'm peeping the fact that you're just making this statement to be kind of vain right now. You know what I'm saying? Just to point out the fact that there's a lot of people in here who like looking at you. And she's
Mhm.
nice looking, really nice looking. You know what I'm saying? So and it don't hurt that she's a white girl. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of people in here that like it. It's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna hit you with the haze and how you doing and all of that other stuff. You're gonna get all of that. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? As a man, and you looking at that and you want it, now you finna have to deal with the ego. You finna have to deal with the vanity. You know what I'm saying? She gonna have all these warped expectations. You see what I'm saying? Whereas with the women, what typically happens is they get with the guy. He's doing everything in his power to make sure that you like him to get what he wants from you. But then once he get that, now all of your expectations fall by the wayside because all he really wanted was the intimacy. And once he get it, then okay, it's on to the next conquest. I'm not saying that's a wrong way to live, but I'm saying it's wrong of us, and I'm gonna use us just so people can't say I'm one-sided. It's wrong of us to pick a certain type of people and then think we can change them
Yeah.
and expect them to become what we want them to be. You see what I'm saying? I'm
Hmm.
guilty of it. You know what I'm saying as well. That's why my heart has been broken so many times because I knew exactly who people was, and I kept trying to get them to be what I wanted them to be, and they would give me glimpses of it. So I thought like, oh, okay, well, yeah, they coming along. Nah, that was just the movie. That was the act. You know what I'm saying? That was the scene. They was able to put that
Hmm.
hat on for 1 second. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
it is what it is, man. That's. But like I say, I'm just happy that we get to a point where that's cool, man. Let's move on to topic 2. This one is a strong one. I'm kind of sad Ani ain't here for this one. I really wanted to hear her point of view on this one. Um, but it's called putting sons before husbands. Putting sons before husbands. And I watched this video uh, from TD Jakes. I think I have it here for us. Let's check it out. What's going on with my videos? Maybe I need to reload it. It was sitting in here for a minute. Uh, I've been having a conversation about this particular topic because of the fact that I've been dealing with it for like the last 10 years.
What, being put first or dying?
Having the son being put before you. It is
Is
not
that
fun.
is that right or wrong?
It's definitely wrong and it definitely sucks. Let's check out this video real quick from this is my man TD Jakes.
Do you realize that men get angry when you out-talk them? That your tongue is your weapon and that you can win the battle and still lose the war? The right word spoken by a good woman in a bad situation can make a man fly. I swear it can. I swear it can. If you would love your husband like you love your sons, we could stand. You know how you are about your children, come hell or high water?
Right.
I'm down for you. Well, most of us had that with our mothers. And then we marry you. And we watch you give it to your children. And this is what I want you to understand. I'm not blaming you for where they're broken, because they were probably broken in some way when you got them. I'm telling you how to minister to the brokenness without emasculating the patient. Okay?
See, man, I can't. This is why I can't always. You know what? Hold on. Let me finish this because it's only a few seconds left.
If you got a man that life has beaten and he comes home to a woman holding a whip, don't be angry when he looks beat down.
Right.
Man, this is why I can't always, even though I'm not a subscriber to any religious sect, man, be some jewels dropped sometimes. They can come from anybody, anytime, anywhere. And that was so deep to me, especially when he talked about if you would love your sons, if you would love your husbands like you love your sons, because I've been a witness of this. I've seen it firsthand.
Well, that's deep. I don't even think it was a religious thing. I just think it made sense. It had nothing to do with religion. It was just
Right.
it made sense.
Right.
It made sense because I was wondering what made you use him as a point of reference, but he did have some points.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying because when I saw that clip, man, I mean, like I said, it just resonated with me, bro. It was a frequency thing, you know what I'm saying? Like immediately, because I have been through that, I know exactly what that feel like. I know how it sucks, man. Um, and then one time, and I forgot to go grab it too. I forgot to go look and see if I could find it. I put a post up in the Facebook group I'm in, and I asked, about women and dealing with this type of situation. And the thing that tripped me out was what came back was women talking about it from an adult point of view, saying they were with men, dated men who moms was just too much in the situation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Too much in their business, you know what I'm saying? Acting like their son was their surrogate husband. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
wow, I never even thought about it. You know what I'm saying? From that perspective. I think the only time I ever really even maybe considered it was with that one movie with Kevin Hart in them in it. Think Like a Man. And I know it was a mama's boy character in that movie. But the specific point of view that I have on it is what TD Jakes was talking about, is when you're in a relationship with the woman and you see that she has this die hard love, you know what I'm saying, die hard commitment and loyalty to her son or sons, you know what I'm saying, and it's not really, you don't get it. She don't give that to you. Every argument is almost a breakup. You know what I'm saying? If you say, man, it's over. It ain't gonna be no fight in it. Ain't gonna be no fight in it. If you leave, ain't gonna be no trying to stop you. It's just whatever. You know what I'm saying? But with the kid could be showing out anything. It's super support, no discipline. The teacher said he doing this and doing that, but no, the teachers is wrong. It's the teacher's fault. You know what I'm saying? Just an unshakable commitment and submission to their sons to a degree of which where it almost feels like the son is the husband and you the child. And I'm literally having these conversations like, yo, you don't even realize like what you're doing. I'm trying to tell you, you can't hear it though, because you feeling whatever you feeling about me. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't even understand. At this point, it's not even about me. It's about your son. You are disarming him for manhood because you create an environment where there's no discipline, there's no boundaries. The world is not gonna treat him that way. The world's gonna have rules and regulations and stuff that they gotta abide by, and it's not gonna just be love regardless to how you behave. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
So I don't know if you ever known any situations like this, but I want to hear your perspective on the subject.
Definitely seen it before. Definitely seen it. Definitely seen it before. May not have experienced it firsthand like that, but I've definitely seen it. I may not have experienced it from a relationship perspective, but I've definitely seen it where it was it seemed like it wasn't healthy for growth for the child. To me, when it's like that.
Exactly.
Like, well, I'm moving through the room. Yeah, it seemed like it hindered the child.
It definitely.
Having technical issues over here, my fault.
No,
Yeah,
sorry.
but yeah, that's what it seems like to me, though. It's very unhealthy, and it seems like it's hard for a woman to even keep a man when it's that kind of situation.
Yeah, I almost think that those type of women devalue men anyway. It mentally they already know it's probably not gonna work out because of my kids, right? Because I remember when I first started trying to be with my lady back in the day, kids were still, this is pre-pubescent, pre-adolescent. We talking 6 years old. And when they would do certain things and I would have something to say about it, and her response would be, well, you ain't got to deal with them. Be like, what? Right? Full transparency. It was a part of me that appreciated that because I didn't get it. Right? It was a part of me that was like, man, I wish my mama would have been like that. You know what I'm saying? When I was young and in school and getting in trouble and stuff, my mama was come up there. It was whatever the teacher said. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter what I said. You know what I'm saying? It was whatever they said. So, but when it came down to, hey, now they talking about putting the kids on drugs. You know what I'm
Thought
saying?
they always did that.
Hey, oh no, they got oppositional defiant disorder and ADHD and CBA, and I'm like, look here, don't put them boys on no drugs. Don't listen to them. That ain't what they need. What they need is some discipline at the career. They need to just know that they can't get away with everything. Because if they doing it at home, they're gonna feel like they can do it in the rest of the world. And it took a long, long, long time, years, to get her on board with that. But she finally did. And now she can see the results of that. You know what I'm saying? But it's still not all the way there. It's still not to the point where I can separate my relationship from my kids. Like when you have my son is 16, my daughter is 20. Okay, true enough, they don't live with me, but even if they did, they would have no say so in my relationship. That's not even their concern. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that used to be stay in the child's place. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because we had belts for ADHD.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Belts and all type of extension cords and everything when it got
Right.
worse. But I mean, that's the whole point. Is you? I remember my mom was married a few years ago to this cat. It didn't even last that long, but I had came out to her house for something. I'm out there, and I ain't like the dude. I'm gonna just keep it 100. I ain't like him. But my beef wasn't really with him. My beef was really with my OG. I just kind of took it out on him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, my mama was get the fuck out of my house, and she wasn't talking to him. You know what I'm saying? It's my husband. You my son. You got your own life to live. I got my own life to live. You ain't gonna disrespect my husband and our house where he pay the bills. It ain't gonna happen. You feel me? And I was all hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I probably was like 28. I was all hurt and broken. You know what I'm saying? But it took for me to have my first crib with my woman for me to realize I wasn't gonna let nobody, not even my own kids, come in that space and disrespect her. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm able mentally, I can separate the two. You see what I'm saying? My kids is good with my girl. It don't matter what I tell them I went through with her. It does not matter because I don't just give them one side. I tell them the whole truth. I always have. They know their
That
daddy.
one side to kill something.
Yeah. And then it's worse when you in the house because when from their perspective, this is their mom. And I'm the guy here arguing with their mom. We arguing and fighting, cussing each other out. Guess what? They gonna side with their mama. It didn't matter how much I should talk to them all the time and tell them, look, man, y'all don't know, y'all don't understand. You will soon, though. You get your own girl, you get out here, you're gonna see what it's like. You're gonna understand what it's like to be with a woman, especially after the honeymoon phase is over. But that's their mama. So unless the mama is coming and saying, look, y'all, it ain't all his fault. He need to. This is adult stuff. Y'all just need to, he ain't hurting y'all. He ain't doing nothing to y'all. We just going through our thing. We apologize for that we doing this over you. You know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
she just ain't never did that. So that's why to this day we don't live together. Literally, that's why to this day we don't live together. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna be in a house where the kids run it.
And is it any coming back from that?
Well, it depends on what you mean. If you mean can we have a relationship, yeah. If you mean can we cohabitate again, no, it's over with that. That's I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. The only way that would happen is if we were able to sit down and have the type of conversation that I'm talking about now, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at this age, honestly, I could see the oldest son. I could see him being like, "Well, I don't want to live here no more. I want to go stay with such and such." And I think that's her biggest fear because as a mom, she's gonna automatically think that okay, I'm doing something wrong because my son don't want to be here no more. She's not gonna realize that she's doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing something. If he wants to get out of the house, that means you're doing something right.
You think so?
Yes. Because too often boys be 25, 26, 27, 28 still living with their mamas. You know
And
what
I
I'm
read
saying?
something back in the day. I read something that said we typically put our children out the house too soon. You don't give them a chance to put themselves in a better situation, so when they get out in the world, that they're better prepared.
Right. But you know what that's based on?
What?
That's based on them not being prepared. That's what
Yeah.
that's based on. Now imagine if we was preparing them right, then it wouldn't be too soon. You see what I'm saying? Like when I was 16, bro, my cousin lived out in Naperville. He had a couple of friends. They was like 16, 17, and I think one of them was like 19, college age. They had their own apartment. I mean, like we the only ones. We don't prepare our kids for stuff. We just be trying to get them through high school. I got you through high school. I did my job. Like, no, we don't. You prepare them for the life that you want them to have. You prepare them for the world that they're gonna live in. You see what I'm saying? You prepare them for that. If you put forth the effort, if you make sure that they my cousin, her son just graduated high school. Her daughter graduated the year before. They didn't do it yet, but their plan was when the son graduated, okay, cool. Now we finna move out. They got like a 4-bedroom house. We're gonna move out. We're gonna let y'all two stay here, and then y'all get 2 other roommates. Since it's 4 bedrooms, now y'all got the house. The daughter already started college, and she started working in high school. They had her saving half her checks. By the time she graduated high school, she had like $28,000 saved up. They did the same thing with the son, but he didn't work as much. So he only had like, somewhere around $13,000, $14,000 saved up. But the point was why I could send you out to college and you can go stay in college for 4 years in somebody else's place, and you gotta pay bills there too, basically. You know what I'm saying? It ain't all scholarship, your mama and dad expected to pay for it and all of that. When you can just stay in your own house. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, even though they didn't do that yet, they haven't moved out yet. The thing is that they prepared them for it. So if they was to leave the house right now, guess what? Them kids would be all right. So it's not that I disagree with that people saying that we send them out too early, but we only send them out too early because we haven't prepared them for it, man. If we prepared them for it, they'll be all right. We got kids joining the military at 18 years old, never seen a gun, never, been in no gang, had no type of interactions with guns or any of that type of stuff, but they get thrown right into the military. Now they got guns and they holding guns and going over to other people's countries and stuff. I mean, was they prepared for that? No, it's all about what you prepare them for.
Yeah, I think that sound good. Definitely sound good.
So my son right now, my plan is for my son when he turned 19 to have his own career. After his first year out of high school, he should be done with his apprenticeship and his whatchamacallit, whatever they call it when you're going through man, I always blank on the name of it. The union. You know what I'm saying? So you should be done. So my whole plan is first year, you doing your apprenticeship and all that. That's good. You stay at the crib. That next year, you should be going into your own space. This way, all the money and stuff you making, you ain't just spending it on shoes. You ain't just spending it on kicking. You work now. You don't kick it. This ain't kick it. We've been too busy telling our kids use their 20s to kick it. No, you young and healthy now. It's the time to be working. You do it now. You know what I'm saying? You invest that time and that energy into the working and the building of wealth now, so that by the time you get to the end of your 30s, which is 2 decades basically, hey, now you can go and chill. Now you can relax. Now you can kick it. Now you can go wherever you want to go and see the world. And not only that, you will be doing it with a more mature mind, a more educated mind, a more settled mind. You know what I'm saying? It won't be such an eager mind or desperate mind or ignorant mind. And I mean ignorance as far as lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Sometimes some things get in the way though. Things don't always go the way they should.
hey, like I said in the intro, expect for things to go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Expect anxiety, expect all of that, but then you just get up and you see it through. It's never going to happen the way you want it to happen, ever. And if it does, do not trust it. It's the devil. That's how the show come on every week. You know what I'm saying? But the point is to see it through, man. You gotta be committed to something, bro. You know what I'm saying? Or you
Really?
just be out here
Yeah.
bouncing around. You know, it can't live like that. So, I mean, but that's a part of the whole treating your son like he your husband. Is these situations where the women ain't married, they ain't committed to no man, and they put all of that same energy that they have. That energy don't go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You still got it. You got to give it to somebody. So you giving it to your son. You know what I'm saying? Like my girl was the first woman I ever seen that it was always she asked the kids, "What do you want to eat?" When I grew up, it was whatever my mama was cooking.
Yeah.
If my mama went to the restaurant and bought Chinese food, this is what I brung in tonight. You don't want that, I don't know what to tell you. Go make yourself something to eat or go get out my face. I ain't saying that's all the way right, but I'm saying just at 5, 6, 7, you know what I'm saying? For you to be dictating what you want to eat, and now you running around like a chicken with your head cut off. You're going to get this one, this meal, because he want Burger King. Then you got to drive all the way over here. You know what I'm saying? The brown chicken, because that one won't chicken. It's like, come on. You know what I'm saying? That's way too much power and control for a kid to have. You know what I'm saying? Over their mama. Your role is not supposed to be dictated by them. It's supposed to be the opposite. See what I'm saying? Now they older. We're talking about one of them finna be 18, the other one finna be 16. So at this point, what they really need is male role model. They don't need mamas no more. You know what I'm saying? They need somebody telling them, hey, these the steps. That's what you need to be focused on. That's what you need to be doing. Okay, this is what I know you're capable of. Not just my girl kids, boys in general. That's why they be so lost out here, is because they don't have no direction. But you see the ones with direction and you see how it usually works out. Not all the time, like you say, but it usually works out well. So thankfully, even though it's a bad thing, but thankfully you've seen this play out. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sound like I'm alone. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I seen a meme the other day that said, he's your son, not your husband, but that's none of my business, with the Kermit drinking the tea. So it's more people, you know what I'm saying, that know about this. And like I say, the post in the group I made, but they was talking about adult men. And I can't say I've ever seen that play out, actually. The adult version, where the mom was just too much in her son's business or whatever. So let's go on to the next topic. I'm gonna skip one of the topics because I definitely need for it to be a sister here for that one, the accountability topic. And I'm gonna go to the bad dating advice from dad. Bad dating advice from dad. Hey, this was, when I saw this was type crazy to me, bro. I couldn't believe that this man was saying this to his son in 2022, bro, or whatever this was, man. Check this out. So 17-year-old son asked his dad if he could go on a date with a young lady from school. His father's reply: "That's fine. I want you home absolutely no later than 7:30. Public places only." Yeah, he says 7:30. I mean, it was a date though. I don't know. That's I never heard of that either. But he say public places only, no homes, no private rooms, no nakedness. Comport yourself as a gentleman, respectful, and polite. Everything right there I was pretty okay with. This way it kind of got weird. Open doors, offer to pay for everything. Listen way more than you speak. She's the boss. You're simply honored she chose to spend time with your goofy ass. Your job is to be chivalrous, courteous, and kind, while simultaneously being protective and strong. You're a man, but moreover, you're my son. Conduct yourself accordingly. And the son says, yes, sir. Dad says, love you. Son says, I love you too, Papa. Okay, cool. Bro, I'm fine with opening doors. I had no problem. Actually, at this point in my life, I'm not okay with the offer to pay for everything. That's over with. Yeah, it's a waste of time. I'm because it's too many women out here that do that. They go out with guys just to get free meals and all that type of stuff. So I ain't on that. But the whole listen way more than you speak. That's not bad either. She's the boss. How is she the boss? It's a date. It's a young lady from school. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about, right? Then he says, you're simply honored she chose to spend time with your goofy ass. Like, what? Sometimes, bro, I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I be thinking these people be trolling us. Like these don't even be real messages. But then,
Maybe get some kind of old school values.
right. But then sometimes I see things that are confirmed and they be like, well, if I could believe this, you know what I'm saying? I guess I could believe that other thing I was having a hard time believing. And this right here, man, this whole she's the boss and you're simply honored to spend time with her. This is what I mean. This is a part of that devaluing of men, man. That I'm a firm opponent of is that we make men feel like their whole value is based on their ability to provide and protect for a woman. Like without doing that, you ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Your life is meaningless. Now, full transparency, just to be fair and objective, a lot of men, especially men in the manosphere, and men who follow that logic, make the same type of statements to women. And I don't agree with that either. I don't think we should minimize women to, their reproductive organs or their physicality. You know what I'm saying? But this
Good.
women do that to themselves as well. I just recently made a post about that. I mean, I go on Instagram and the very first thing it's a girl. She's at work. She's got on scrubs. I don't know what she do, but whatever it is, she got on scrubs and a hospital badge. And she just sets up the camera, walks away, and then turns around so you can see how her behind looks in scrubs. And the video is just about 7 to 10 seconds long, and that's all it is.
You know what? I think I caught that one. I think I caught that one too.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like that's literally all it is. Like you ain't selling nothing, you ain't advertising nothing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. It's just look at my butt. Isn't my butt amazing? And the crazy part about it is it don't matter what the butt look like no more. It does not matter what shape it is or any of that, especially if it's any kind of big. If it can be called big, then it is automatically awesome. And this is all we get. So women objectify themselves way more than men do, right? And I don't think most men would choose to reduce themselves to being the goofy dude who's just honored to be in the woman's presence.
And that's what it definitely sounds like he wanted to be.
Your son.
I mean, maybe that's what he is, you know. That's been normalized to him.
And we see a lot of that. We see it like yeah, that's a good point. Because we see a lot of that, man. I know I do. Even in my own family, where it's some stuff that people just don't let go. It don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like what information you present them with, what changes in society have been made. it's like they just refuse to let it go. Some ideas. Man, I just watched that video again about the polygamy thing, right? And I gotta say, it as far as the polygamy sector that deals with it from a marriage perspective, I'm just not with that just because I don't want to deal with that many women. I don't want the headache, right? But I'm not against nobody doing whatever they can do. Do what you do. But the woman is giving you the scientific reason for polygamy. And she's not saying it in a way where men, because men are men and because they're bigger or stronger, you know what I'm saying? Like she ain't saying none of that. You know what I'm saying? She's saying it like, listen, men produce this much sperm, and therefore they need a release. And all it would take is 30 men to repopulate Earth. You know what I'm saying? Based on the amount of sperm that men produce. And so from that perspective, we understand why men would try to sleep with a lot of women. We like women, we're attracted to them, and at the same time, we're trying to get this release. Then you add in the societal norms like just conquering women, seeing how many you can get, how that makes you feel like a man, all of those different things that I think we probably need to do away with some of that stuff too. But again, no, there's no way, you know what I'm saying, that you could even think about being a polygamist if the idea in your mind is that you're just the goofy dude, you know what I'm saying, who should be honored to be in her presence because she's the boss. That's like, I can't think of nothing, not husband, not polygamist, not pimp, not a trick, I can't think of no sector of life for man where this ideology makes sense. Can you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, but I'm sure there's some women who like those type of men too, though. So
Man, I hate to see what they look
like.
I'm just saying though, like honestly, it's probably some of the most loving women in the world are probably not that good on the eyes. And that's probably really what it boils down to. Because the better you look, it's like with money, man. I can't hate the way they compare. I hate the way that they compare looks and money, but I get it. The woman's looks to a man's money, I get it. Because the man with the money is gonna want that woman with the looks. So I get why they compare it the way that they do. You know what I'm saying? But it's like we know it's not the best thing for you. You know what I'm saying? And this advice from this father, this is terrible, man. Like I could dig almost everything else, even being chivalrous and courteous and all of that. You know what I'm saying? But she's the boss. The high school girl is the boss of you. Like, make that make sense. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, the men might have easy lives.
You ain't saying that's game, is you?
No, I said the men might have easy lives.
Let me find out. Let me find out that that's their way of being nice. You know what I'm saying? And that's how they talk and be nice just to get, you know what I'm saying, what it is they trying to get to.
Life might be easy for
Well, you know what? Ain't much I can say about that. Like you said, it's some people that's kind of just old fashioned, but I never heard nobody say that, talk that way to me. Then now inmates just messed everything up by him not showing up, because I definitely wanted to come with this topic about hypocrites in the church. This is a video I've been holding on to for a little minute now. It's been a few weeks. Actually, I've had the video for a long time, but it's been a few weeks. I've been meaning to bring it up, but I really just never got around to it. where the guy's talking about the hypocrisy in church and the way that people use certain scriptures in the Bible to beat folk
Mm-hmm.
down with, while they're ignoring other scriptures in the Bible that's telling them they shouldn't be doing what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the conversation that I want to save as well until MH comes back. The next topic was about one-way aggression. It's a video I wanted to share. We don't have to because I need to be here for this one too. So we don't have to talk about it for too long, but it's something that I've been wanting to say to you about this for a minute.
Okay.
Because I think that this is one of the biggest issues in our community. And it deals with the way that we look at men and we look at women. So this whole narrative that I know you typically don't agree with, based on the last show, about women being the weaker vessel, right?
No, I not see. I don't think. I think each vessel serves its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You know what I'm saying? It's not one might be weak at one thing, but the other one is better at another thing. It's everything serves its purpose. It's not about I'm stronger than you. Yeah, I might be stronger than her in some points, but she's stronger than me at some points.
Right.
I'm about balance, man. Not that one way street thing.
Right. And see the issue that I have, and I'm gonna point this out. I'm gonna turn the sound down, so we don't need to hear this. But I'm gonna just play it. So what you seeing in this video is this lady and this man is arguing. Now you see how she all in his face clapping and this and that. You know what I mean? It's just all this aggression, the head waving. I ain't even gonna bring up the blonde wig. Right here, she's talking about him. Look how you look. You know what I'm saying? This and that. He ain't walking away from her, but at the same time, he shouldn't have to. But the thing to notice here, look, now she's pushing him. You know, nobody is saying anything to her. Nothing. Nobody is saying, yo, why is you in this man's face? Why is you clapping all in his face? Why is you following him around? Why are you harassing him? You know what I'm saying? Get out of his space, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, boom, he hits her, and now here comes everybody. Hold on, fam. Hold on, fam. Stop, fam. No, fam. And that right there is the biggest problem to me in our community. I'll take white supremacy and all that other stuff, put it to the side. To me, for us, that right there is our biggest problem, bro. We sit back as a community, men and women, way too often and allow women to behave however they want to. And this is where you and I defer. And another guy from a podcast in the group that I'll be rocking with sometimes defer, as far as when we talk about men and the correction of women. See, I ain't in the hood like that no more. So I can definitely tell them, hey, that's not what it is. But if somebody would have came and said something to her, that same dude who ran up pushing the brother off and grabbing that brother should have been the same dude who ran up to the woman and said, get out of his face. But for some reason, bro, we want to see this. I can prove it. And I'm generalizing, of course, but we want to see this. There's another podcast that I watched. This podcast started off so good, bro. It really did. It was 4 of them on the podcast, 3 guys, 1 girl, and it started off so good. And the girl, she was on there with her feminism and stuff, but at the same time, she was respectful. She at least tried to have the conversations, even though, you know, she was still doing her feminism thing. Now they went and got the darkest girl they can find, and she just on there being loud and belligerent and ignorant and disrespectful for no reason. And this is a podcast that promotes accountability for Black women. They talk about Black women shouldn't behave this way or that way, and they went out and got the blackest girl they can find to behave the exact way that they say that Black women shouldn't be behaved. And you know why they did that? Because it's going to increase their viewership.
Yeah,
When
drama.
exactly drama, and nobody really wants to see the drama from guys unless it's straight fighting or unless it's some shooting stuff. Nobody really want to see guys arguing, but they want to see a woman arguing. They want to see all of that extraness. The analytics will show that to you. That's one thing about YouTube. YouTube gives you breaks down the analytics. It shows you who watching your show, the demographics, and everything. So you know whether there's more men or women. You know what each episode is doing. And they have those girls on there, and it reflected in their Facebook group too, because the girls in the group act the exact same way. They don't control it in the group. They don't control it on the show. So now at this point, it's all about entertainment, keeping numbers, and making money.
Mm-hmm.
You see, now far be it for me to pretend like at some point our brand won't be big to the point where we will have to be concerned about maintaining numbers. But I would hope, you know what I'm saying, that we can find a way to do it without sacrificing all of our integrity, right? But when
Oh, yeah.
you see this particular example where the woman is just out of control, she's being all disrespectful, doing everything she want to do, and then when the man reacts, the people come in. Do you understand my point as far as holding women accountable? Like everybody.
I definitely. I saw that video a while back, so I definitely agree with that. And that same discussion was brought up then. Same
Yeah.
discussion was brought up then and pointed out in some other situations. Because there was a couple of videos where something similar like that played out.
Yeah. And see, this video I was really wanted to play it with the accountability clip that I had. And you know what? I think I will. I think I'm gonna go ahead and read this. This is from an Instagram person called Food Color for Life. Food Color for Life. And she says, as Black women, it's time for us to take responsibility for the shit we are doing to our community. There has never been a concentrated scrutiny on the behavior of Black women. We have hidden behind the lies of feminism and allowed our Black men to be put on the global chopping board. We have a false sense of superiority because we have never been held accountable for abortions, the perpetration, oh my Lord, she didn't spell that right, I think. Oh, perpetuation. I'm tripping. The perpetuation of self-hatred we pass on to our children. That's big. The generational trauma we inflict and pass on to our children, our sexual irresponsibility, our refusal to be honest with where we are so we can begin to heal ourselves and our family, the effect of our lack of self-respect on the Black family structure, our lack of respect for our Black men, our constant need to be included and accepted in white society, our willingness to support the devastating effects of white supremacy in our communities through feminism and driving the sick LGBTQ agenda in our communities, our lack of protection to our children, the lack of wisdom, the lack of knowledge we impart to our children. I could go on. We have never been held accountable for the shit we are doing. So, I mean, that's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, to me, that video encompasses the base of what she was saying is that the women aren't being held accountable. We can go on and on and on about, our personal stuff, but the biggest thing to me, and if you go across all of our videos so far, you will see this to be true, is that I am more concerned with how we treat each other. I think that's gonna matter more than anything else, because there's a reason why we were able to make it through slavery, we were able to make it through Reconstruction, we were able to make it through Jim Crow. You know what I'm saying? We were surviving the civil right movement. It was based on how we got along, how we viewed and treated each other. It's never been perfect, but there was at least a time where the good was outweighing the bad. We were 80% good, 20% bad. And now it's completely flipped. That's like it's 20% good, 80% bad. And that's, to me, based on how we treat each other. Forget what we're going through. We all know that sucks. You know what I'm saying? I got to get up and go to work tomorrow and go stand in this. I'm trying not to be a racist, but go stand in this dude's face. You know what I'm saying? Knowing I don't like him and I want to punch him. You know what I'm saying? But if I come home from that to a loving woman, you know what I'm saying, holding a glass of frozen fruit turned into a smoothie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Versus it being a whip, like TDJ said, I want to come home to you holding the whip. I want to come home to you holding a healthy beverage for your boy. You know what I'm saying? I've been here dealing with these people, you know. So
Yeah.
the thing about the video is not, it's not so much about the fighting. People fight, especially in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Everything about that clip says to me that them two people knew each other somehow, some way. I could be wrong, but to me it says they knew each other somehow, some way. But at the end of the day, I read a meme the other day from that was made up of a Desmond Tutu quote that said, at some point we got to stop trying to pull people out the river, out the bottom of the river. We got to go to the top of the river and find out why they falling in the first place. It's one thing to keep trying to save them. It's another thing to stop them from falling in the first place. And that's what I'm saying. That whole thing could have been avoided if it would have been some people from the beginning to come in and say, "Hey, no, you ain't not finna talk to no black man like that in front of me. You ain't finna be all in his face clapping, and you ain't finna be behaving like that in front of me. You can go on home. You can get on up out of here." And I know, look, you could be putting yourself in harm's way. But if we had the majority of the community like that, you know, if you got 50 people out there and there's 3 people acting a fool, 3 people ain't finna just tell 50 people they can go to hell.
Well, you know, some people, she might have been the type that people just don't want to be bothered with. The ones that's always got the riffraff going on. Maybe that was why, but I'm not sure. But I do think somebody could have stepped in and closed that door before it went that far.
Mm-hmm.
It actually looked like he was pointing to her, asking people to come get her at one point.
I know he walked to this side, he walked to that side. It's a video that I used to have, man. I'm mad I don't have it anymore. It would be perfect for me to illustrate what my point on this. This woman is outside. She is just beating the man up. He ain't fighting back. He just kind of walking slowly away, and she just walking, hitting them. Kids outside, they right there with her, they crying. You know what I'm saying? She just hitting them, and nobody's saying nothing. But somebody is recording this. This is how we got the video. You know what I'm saying? Hitting them. But we know if this would have been the reverse, you know what I'm saying? Whoever would have recorded would have been talking about stop. It would have been men coming from out of nowhere to break it up. People would have been on the phone with the police. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like it ain't even just it ain't even about the fight. It's about stop letting the behavior be normalized. When you don't say anything, her doing all of that, then when he got violent and everybody came to her rescue, says my behavior was justified. There was nothing wrong with what I was
Yeah, I
doing.
don't want to make it seem like we justifying his violence either, though. You know what I mean? Because I don't think that's ever the way to go. But there was a moment in time where it seemed like it could have been neutralized by outside influence.
That's what that's what me and you differ. I definitely believe his violence was justified.
And I don't think it's ever justified for a man to put his hands on a woman.
I can say the same to the reverse. It's never justified for a woman to put her hands on a man.
Well, at one like last week, y'all was speaking about the stronger vessel. Now, if you in the stronger vessel, ain't that unfair?
No. Here's the thing. Nobody would run up on a tiger and smack a tiger because they know a tiger would maul them. So if you know I'm the stronger vessel, then why aren't you treating me like that? Why aren't you not expecting the result of running up on something that's stronger than you? I wouldn't do it. And I used to think I was pretty tough. I'm getting older now, but even in my toughest days, if I looked at a cat and I felt like I wasn't gonna win, I ain't run up on them talking crazy. And people deserve to be able to protect their space, man. I remember a story a few years ago about this young boy. The way the story goes was that he broke up with his girlfriend, and then he was at his new girlfriend's house. And when he came out of the house, the girlfriend had her friend distract him while she ran up behind him and stabbed him in the neck. Now, if that boy had been, hey, get out of my space to the other girl, he might have even had been aware of the fact that the other girl was coming up behind him. But he wasn't, you know what I'm saying? He was just trying to move around, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I ain't got time for this. Boom, he gets stabbed. I don't remember if he died or not, but he got stabbed in the neck. You see what I'm saying? But when I heard that story from that moment on, this was a few years ago. My son was like prepubescent. Hey, I stopped telling my son, don't hit no woman. Anybody get in your space, anybody refusing to allow you to have your arm's length worth of space deserves to get hit to get out of your space. I don't that it is you can't put no gender on that. To me, when you do that, you're telling women it's okay for them to hit men.
I don't know.
That's what that says.
If she's perceived as a threat, maybe that'll stand. But it depends on if that situation she was perceived as a threat.
I mean, what am I
She
supposed
didn't
to
look
do?
like
Am
a
I
threat.
supposed to run? If I start walking away and the person is following me, am I now supposed to take off and run from the weaker vessel so that I can just get away from her? Like, come on. Like, you gotta see the irony in that. You know what I'm saying?
You just used the saying about going up there to see why they falling in.
Right.
The same thing is required there. Why is that situation what it is? How did it stem? Where did it stem from? How did it start? Why is that situation even happening?
Well, I mean, we can speculate, but again, if women didn't think, look how that ain't no little bitty dude. Did you see how easy it was for him to hit her one time and then toss her to the ground? Like, that ain't no little bitty guy. And she's out there all in his face, clapping, and then all of that other goofy stuff all in his face, bro. Like, I want to agree with the statement that you should not be hitting people, period, right? But at the same time, I understand what the worst part of that statement, a man should never hit a woman, is you removing any examination of her behavior at that point. When you say a man should never hit a woman, you're saying women are allowed to behave however they want to towards men, and there should be no repercussions. And that's a dangerous precedence, bro.
Behavior and being perceived as a threat is two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Because she acting a fool don't mean hit her. But I can see if she was being perceived as a threat to
Let me
his
ask
safety
you
in his
this.
life.
Let me ask you this. What is the direct, what is the major, the number one reason why you saying a man shouldn't hit a woman?
I said a man shouldn't hit a woman unless she's being perceived as a threat. Now, if she
Okay.
walking up on you with a knife or something and you give her a 2-piece spicy, that's a difference. As to hitting the woman because the way she act or something like that.
Right.
If she's not being perceived as a threat to your life, your well-being, then no.
Okay. Okay. you kind of got away from where I was going right there. You kind of bobbed and weaved away from where I was about to go with that. But I'm gonna still say it anyway because my next point was gonna be: have you ever swatted a fly? Because the fly is a weaker vessel and it is not gonna hurt you. But when it get in your space, you be like, "Come on, man!" You know what I'm saying? Hey, you be trying to get that fly off you. Now you talking about an adult sized fly, all in your face, buzzing. Sometimes you gotta swat them to get them off you.
Yeah, swat them. You mean swat them like swing at them to get them off you?
Hey, when you swinging
When
at
you
a
don't
fly, you
really hit them,
trying
you
to
just
hit it.
kind of swing at them, or when you get something to kill them.
Nah, I ain't gonna. Well, yeah, that too though. You ain't lying about yeah.
Here's the difference. If I'm just swinging, saying get back.
Right. Yeah. I get that. Yeah. Nah, listen. Like I said, I know the damage that a man can do hitting anybody, let alone a woman. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't promote violence. I don't promote beating on no woman, but I'm not against a woman getting hit. Equality is equality. You either want it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You either want it or you don't. So if you want equality, then guess what? That means when you act like a man, speak like a man, you have the verbal commands and the body language of a man, you're gonna get treated like one. You want to work like a man, get paid like a man, that means equal is equal. I can't turn it on and off. We're not finna play that game. That's how the world gets way too complicated. I ain't gonna lie, that's why I kind of like black and white. We got all these gray areas we want to force everybody to live in. Like, oh man, no, don't touch me. I won't touch you. If I can do this and I can feel you on the palm of my hand, you deserve to get hit. You shouldn't be in my space, especially if we into it. And see, men understand that. Like I said, the last time I was locked up, this guy I got into it with him. And I had to realize in that moment, it's not that I don't think I could win the fight, but if I fight this guy, he don't got nothing to lose. Cause he finna take time and all type of stuff. And he a junkie. I'm in work release. I ain't trying to lose that. I'm finna go home in another week, in a couple of days. I ain't trying to lose that. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a whole bunch of stuff I'm not trying to lose. So if I actually fight this guy, he probably would win just because he ain't got nothing to lose, and I'm gonna be thinking about the wrong stuff. I had to let it go, and I felt like a coward for about 2 days. Because on the second day, he got caught high and they shipped him back to the regular joint. You know what I'm saying? Well, I still was sitting in street clothes and going outside every day. You know what I'm saying? So after that, I was over it. You know what I'm saying? I felt good because I went back and dressed orange. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I understand that when I'm dealing with another man. Now, with a woman, I know her or anybody else can 911, and it's probably going to be bad for me. Regardless, even though I've been in a couple situations where the police came and was on my side about things, blew my mind both times. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, y'all not here for me? Oh man, y'all here for her? Let's see how this is gonna play out. You know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all really putting the cuffs on, huh? And then I'll be like, nah, I don't want to press no charges. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like I just feel like at this point, we gotta hold women accountable. So I got a question for you. Did you have something for Master Keys tonight that you wanted
You
to
know
discuss?
what? I feel like we should reload and you know, man, because I wanted to have a whole show going. I had something I wanted to incorporate into everything. I feel
Yeah,
like we need to reload and prepare for everybody to be in tune next week.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna reach out to and make sure what's the name is gonna be here next week. And then I met this cat at the grocery store the other day. Young cat, 27, bro, but he got a head on his shoulder. I'm gonna try to bring him on too to get him involved in the conversation. He has some good ideas because I've been actually remember when and Mace was talking about asking random people whether or not they believed in God or they went to church. So I said I was gonna ask 10, but I decided to ask 12 people because of the fact that I've incorporated race into it. So far I've asked 2 Latinos, 1 black person, and 2 white people. I got 2 yeses and 2 nos. And then the 1 black person that I asked is the brother that I'm telling you about. But I don't know how to gauge his response, because his response was that he don't necessarily view Jesus as his Lord and Savior, but he go to church. Like he go to a Christian church. So I don't know how to gauge that.
You know, there's a lot of sectors in that, and there's a lot of people who believe and see different. Just like how it started off in the Catholic Church, and they began to see different, and it began to branch off and break off. So you know, that's just what it's been doing. Because I sure want to touch on some things. I want to make sure I with the Master Keys touched on the fact that we do touch on these sensitive situations, but we'll get into it next week.
No
But
doubt.
I wanted everybody to be here because I wanted people to understand that even though we get on these sensitive topics and it get a little stirred up, you know what I mean? It's not a I hate you type of stirred up or disrupting like that. You know what I mean? People just get
Mhm.
really intense when it's something that means something to them. And I wanted to totally express that to people because I want people to understand we can have these conversations without uh getting too excited, like fight type of excited. But
Mhm.
yeah, we should go and reload and go ahead and do it again, run it by next week and make it happen.
No doubt.
Because there was a lot of things, there was a lot of last week that I wanted to touch back on, or get a different response or more of a response to. So
Yeah, man, we gotta I'm really gonna try to have I really want to have a meeting, bro. I really want to pull us all together one day this week
I thought you should have
when
did that
everybody's
too.
free. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I just, bro, like real talk. I'm gonna text you about it. But yeah, I really want to pull us together one day where we have a meeting, and you know what I'm saying. Like I've been really working, bro. Like you see, the intro is different, and I got
Hmm.
I'm using all of the different platforms now. The only one I ain't incorporated yet is Twitter. Um, um, and that's because I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to start a brand new one or use the one I already have. And it's a reason for that too. I want to talk about with y'all. So, yeah, some things I really want us to be able to have a meeting, but I want us to have it like this. You know what I'm saying? Where we just come on the platform so we can video chat together, not
Hmm.
live. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
For everybody
Yeah.
to see, but we
Yeah.
just pop on stream y'all real quick, and then we just have a meeting real quick. So I'm gonna put that out in the air and see what they say. And yeah, because like I said, I'm trying to build the brand up, man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely gonna need some help. I'm willing to do out of the legwork, but I need people to at least, be willing to share and promote a little bit on their pages, and also just be prepared, you know what I'm saying, on a weekly basis for their segments, because I think that's how we're gonna make our situation stand out, is for
Hmm.
each individual person to have their own segment, and then at some point have their own, not necessarily a show, but at least have their own platform where they're able to produce some content, like make little videos here and there, make little 2 minute clips,
Hmm.
acting or something, anything you want to do, just so that we can, build the brand up and be able to have an individual focus on each talent, because everybody's their
Hmm.
own thing. We might have 10,000 followers, maybe 2,000 of them only like me, 7,000 of them like you, 4,000 of them like MH, 10,000, all of them like I need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want to be able to take every person. So I got the plugger and the music and stuff for Master Keys together. I got Anis asked and answered with Anis. I got the plug and the music together for that, and I got some in mind that I want to do with MH. But that's why I'm gonna try to put it together. See if we can't do some Friday where we all take an hour just to sit down and rap. So just so the
Yeah.
fans know, like we getting it together, we putting it together. It's finna get bigger and better. So that's what it is, man. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get out of
That's what's up. That's what's up, then. Yeah, man. Shoot me a text, and then we'll line it up and go and get it in order. Cause it is time to get it rocking. So peace out, everybody. I'm gone, family love.
No doubt, one love, bro. All right, y'all. Man, so listen, that's a good conversation. I ain't gonna lie, I'm a fan of the one-on-ones. I ain't gonna front. I know Kehoe like to let me rock, and that's cool. But when I highlight them deep one-on-ones, because it ain't a whole lot of over talking and stuff like that. I like those anyway. But I did miss Ani and Mace this week. Hopefully we'll all be together again next week. Like I said, I got some new stuff I'm putting together, new segments that I'm putting together for the show. I'm buying all type of stuff, man, and just trying to make sure I can put the best product out here for the people. We're trying to be educational as well as entertaining. You know what I'm saying? We ain't just trying to be making people jaws drop. We're trying to make their minds open too. So we got some stuff in the works. What I want to do right now, because I love the people who support the show. Let me see if I got it. Because if I got it, I'm gonna go ahead and play it. Yeah, I do. So I'm gonna play this video, man. I seen this. This guy was going in, bro. Like, I ain't gonna front. He was going in. But it is what it is. Let's check out this video real quick.
PSA to women with children who actually want men. Stop telling men that your children come first. This is not the flex you think it is, and it is most certainly not a selling point. While you are under the impression that you're communicating to this man that you are in fact a single mother, what you're actually communicating to him is that he will take the backseat in his own relationship. You just told this man that he comes second to a child. I don't know about you, but I don't know anybody that worked all their way to adulthood so they can have a kid take precedent over them. I mean, no bullshit. When we hear the phrase, my children come first, what we hear is they came first even before the man that was responsible for them being here. Because why are you not with them? The answer don't matter. Shut up. That was rhetorical. I'm sorry. Did you just out your mouth tell me the person on whom you intend to have as a provider for the very children that you're telling me come first, just tell me that they come first? Are you crazy? If I'm a man that has decided, to the best of my abilities and within my power, to take care of some children that ain't even mine, please believe I come first in everything. Otherwise, do it yourself. Oh yes, this is one of those, the majority of single mothers got some fucking nerve. You know why else you shouldn't say that? Because if children come first, who comes second and who come third? I wish the fuck you would say right behind children come your ass. So you mean to tell me I come dead last, ain't shit else left but the dog? I see y'all over there laughing like I wish the fuck you would. When them children leave that house and that dog died, then who gonna come first? Oh shit, my bad, by your own admission, you come first. You ain't got no space in your life for no man. See, a woman without children understands the concept that her man comes first because she knows that's the only way she's gonna get children. Nowadays, typically a woman that has children doesn't understand that dynamic does not change. You put something in front of a man in your life and that something better be able to fulfill all the roles that man would have. I don't care if it's just sex, go get your dog or your children to do it. Right, shut up. Understand this, a man's presence adds value, regardless of what it is. Even if he's a low earner, that's $25,000 more a year than you would have had. Plus the
Right.
sex and the willingness to protect your insatiable ass. Quit telling men that children come first in your life because children grow up. They not even gonna want to be first in your life in a minute. I'll say it this way, ladies, your children are only an asset to you. Our children, however, are an asset to us. Can we go a little more further, please? Alright, listen. Don't think just because a man loves you and wants you that he wants the rest of your baggage. And yes, I call those children baggage because they're not his. Quit telling yourself this lie that if he loved you, he would accept your kids. Bullshit. Men detach emotions from people. You see us do this all the time in bed. Men can have sex with 9 women but only love one. That's called emotional control. Quit trying to act like you got it because you don't. Unless you a thotty-thot-thot, whenever you all have sex with somebody, you all's emotions are intrinsically linked to that person. We not the same, quit expecting us to be. Go get your tea, or your coffee, or your Jack Daniels with your strong ass, and get your ass back here, because there will be a part 2.
Bruh. The man snapped off, bruh. He snapped all the way off. I'm pretty sure I agree with 99% of the stuff that he said in that video. Um, and he's obviously dealing with a specific sector, which is single moms. You know what I'm saying? And this is also full transparency, something that I've had to deal with. Uh, and we talked about this earlier a little bit, but the whole my kids come first thing, like our women just don't understand. It's not come first, right? Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. Okay. So you wake up in the morning, right? What's the very first thing you do? It's probably not go in the room and check on your kids, right? If you have older kids too, especially the ones that's in school, guess what? They probably eating at school. So you're not even getting up and making them breakfast. They eating at school. I mean, depending on how most kids are school age than they are babies and non-school age, under 5. Most kids are in between 5 and 18. So that means majority of the time, these are the women who we're talking about. If you got a baby that's on your breast that needs your nipple every day, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? I could dig it. Your kid probably comes first. Because they waking you up in the middle of the night and dead in the morning. You know what I'm saying? Like they all day long, they need their pamper change, they need bottles, they need rocking and burping. Okay, but we're talking about 5 to 18. And you are not putting these kids first. I really wish y'all would stop telling that lie. That is not what's happening. First of all, if you was putting your kids first, you'd have a father in the household. It don't matter if it's the kid's actual father or a stepdad. It, I think the majority of women, the majority of single mothers have at least one man in their life that qualifies for being a stepdad. But he does not qualify for being her woman because he ain't 6 feet, he don't got a six pack, he don't make six figures, he don't got 12 inches. So he won't be the envy of her friends. He won't be all that her family talks about. So therefore, she ain't choosing him. But he could be a good provider, a good protector, a good stepfather. But she ain't choosing that for her own personal reasons, which means you're not putting your kids first because your kids deserve a balance in the household, not just your estrogen fooled ass trying to be masculine. So in that essence, you already not putting the kids first, right? Then how many mothers work? Like I've been in several situations with women with kids, and then I had my own. As far as I can remember, they usually work the morning shifts. Sometimes they work night shifts. I don't recall any one of them ever working the second shift, which is the shift I like to work. So you either not there while the kids is asleep, or you ain't there in the morning when they getting ready for school, whatever. I understand you got to do what you got to do. I'm not knocking you. I'm not judging you. All I'm saying is you still ain't putting the kids first. You're not. It's a reason why they give you $3,000 per child on taxes, because that's about how much money people spend a year on their kids. And I'm not talking about food. I'm talking about like clothes and shoes when you're not just out trying to buy the latest Jordans every other 2 weeks because you get child support. I'm talking about regularly, normal, sane people that aren't materialistic. Yeah. I've been in these situations. These women was not going out and buying clothes every day for their kids. They was not going out and buying, new toys and video games every day. You know what I'm saying? It was as needed. You might go out and buy your kid a couple pair of shoes. You might get them some clothes. You might be out sometimes and see some stuff and just grab it for them. But I'm saying it's not a ritual every payday to go shopping. For most people, the average people are not doing that. So all y'all people that scamming and hustling and got 3, 4 jobs and side businesses and hooking and OnlyFans, I'm not talking to y'all. All y'all people with all the disposable income that's not being taxed. I'm talking about the average person that's getting up and going to work every day, working 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours a week. It ain't no shop affair. So you just basically doing what you're supposed to do for the kid that you had. Paying bills, light, gas, rent, cell phone, internet type stuff. You putting some food in the crib, you cooking, right? Not saying you're a bad mother, but I'm just saying you are not just putting your kids first. Get the fuck. You saying if you didn't have kids, you wouldn't have rent, light, gas, phone, cell, internet, none of that? Yeah, you would. Or maybe if you didn't, you would still be staying with your mama. Is that what you're suggesting? Because I thought that was the biggest crime against God is for anybody to be an adult and still be staying with their parents, right? So all of that same stuff you doing now that you claim is for your kids first is for you. You doing that because that's what you're supposed to be doing. You doing that because that's what you have to do. You doing that because that's just what it is. Right? Now, what are you actually doing? What choices are you making in your life to benefit your kids? Are you not feeding them the same toxic rhetoric that was fed to you? Are you giving them something different? Are you showing them a different path? Do they have some resources that you didn't have? And I'm not talking about Jordans. Do they know about farming? Do they know about engineering? Do they know about being an electrician? Do they know about being a nurse? Do they know about things that you don't know about? Do you have them reading books that you never read? Like, no, the majority of us is not doing this. This whole I put my kids first is a bunch of bullshit. No, you don't. Most of us don't. We're too busy working 9 to 5s and being upset about it. We're too busy trying to keep the lights on or maintain a relationship. Like, stop it with all this egotistical talk because this is not really what's going on out here, man. The community wouldn't look that way if everybody was doing what they say they do. If everybody was actually accomplishing and doing all the things that they say they do and post on Instagram the 1 or 2 times a year that they do it, the community would not look the way that it does. It just wouldn't. I don't care how much money ain't there. And we all know that's some BS. All the money black women spend on hair, all the money black men spend on Jordans. Stop it. No. There's only one way to put your kids first. Give them the balance they deserve. If you ain't giving them that, you ain't putting them first. Man and woman, mother and father in the household. Healthy relationships. From that point, it's I don't want to say it's a coin flip because it's not. When you prepare, you can be lucky. If you unprepared, you can be the unluckiest person on earth. But if you prepare and make the best decisions you possibly can under certain, I know everybody ain't gonna have somebody. Everybody ain't gonna be married. Every household ain't gonna be 2 parents. I get it. But my thing is, most of us, we're not even making the choices for that. So let's just stop pretending. Let's just keep it a buck. Right? Y'all love to say it take 2 to make a baby when you're trying to get child support, when you arguing for child support, right? When you defending a woman's right to go put any man on child support, even though she didn't had a couple of abortions herself and forego responsibility. But it takes two, right? Okay, so then keep that same energy about it takes two when it's time to be in the household. I love my lady. And I hate the fact that her sons are driving a wedge in between us, because she just can't accept the fact that those are not her husbands. Your job is to get them out of the house. Like if you talk to most men who are in the house with their own kids, they are doing what they got to do to make sure their kids, especially their sons, get out. And it ain't just because you want them out. It's just you want them to succeed. You want them to be the best versions of themselves. You want them to do everything faster than you did it. You know, you got a car, your first car at 22. You want them to get their first car at 17. You know, you graduated at 18. You want them to graduate at 17. You learn how to do HVAC at 30. You want them to learn how to do it at 18. You know, you want them to do it all early. You want them to have those experiences and that knowledge and information and those skills. You want them to have all of that early in the game. And the thing is, you ain't doing your sons no favors by planning them, raising them to be in the house until they 35. You ain't doing them no favors with that. You always talk about how all men be out here making women baby mamas, and this is part of the reason why. Because y'all not raising them to make women wives. Y'all raising them to stay at home and be your surrogate husband. You don't want to hear it, and that's because it's the truth. Anyway, it's your boy, Merge, aka Beans. Time for me to go eat. I'm hungry. It was a good show, man. I'm glad Kehoe showed up. We'll be back next week with some more topics. I got enough topics for the next 2-3 weeks now, because I had so many to pick from this week. But yeah, so we catch up with y'all next week, man. And who was it? Oh yeah, and rest in peace, man, to Kobe Bryant. I know it's been a couple of years, but it was just last week, I think, when it was the anniversary of when he passed away. So I just wanted to make sure I get that in. They say you don't really appreciate people until they're gone. Unfortunately, it was the same way for Kobe, man. It was like, soon as I got the news, I realized how tremendous of a loss it was. So continue to rest in peace for him. Continue to rest in peace, my little brother, Rare. Continue to rest in peace, my cousin is. A few people we lost in the last few years. Oh, and my man Juice WRLD and Pop Smoke, man. All right, y'all, we gone. Peace.
So if you're focused on something, then you can take things into your own control. It doesn't happen overnight. It's not easy. Expect pain. Expect anxiety. Expect everything to go wrong, and just be cool. Breathe easy, and then just see it out. It's never going to happen the way you want it to happen, ever. And if it does, do not trust it. It's the devil. I should have to be nice to get somebody to give me something. If my product is good, no matter how I act, you will pay for it.